Welcome to Tech Talks. In this video, I am going to show you a very new kind of product. In fact, the first of its kind product from Gudsen MOZA, the Slypod. The Slypod is an electronic product which has the advantages of both the slider and the monopod. Not only that, you can even mount a gimbal on top of this and enjoy unparalleled cinematic shooting movements and possibilities. For example, with the Slypod, you can have a smooth slider type of movement, or a shot with the camera dollies in and out. While you can also take shots where the camera moves vertically up or down. Now, coupled with a gimbal on top of this, you can take top shots of dance or move very close during the special moments of a ring ceremony with your combined device. You can also use the Slypod as a jib arm and take shots like a mini crane, which is not usually possible with the gimbal alone.
बहुत अच्छे भाई
Let's see what's all in the box. This is a quick mount adapter to mount on the accessories like a ball head on this Slypod. To mount this, you just need to put in this clamp . This is the tilt pan adapter. To mount the tilt pan adapter, you just need to put this in the slot and rotate this to release, and thereby you have to tighten this. To pull this out again, you have to loosen this ring, pull this knob out, and it comes out easily. You can put this head either on the top or on the side. How do you rotate this? See, here's a knob. You just push. See, we are pushing this knob and it easily you are disengaging the gears. After you are in the right position, just tighten this up. This is the pan lock. If you lock, it is there. To rotate it again. To mount this gimbal on the Slypod, you have to put this base plate under the gimbal. After you fix this, you just need to put it straight and directly it will fit onto the tilt pan head. Some very important features of the Slypod are that its body is made up of carbon fiber and aluminum alloy, which makes it lightweight but also very powerful. The Slypod weighs only 750 grams, but vertically it can take the payload of 9 kilos. So we can consider pairing some serious movie shooting cameras with this. And horizontally can take the payload of 4 kilos. The Slypod is empowered with a powerful motor and it can increase its speed from 0.15 mm to 28 mm per second in just 1 millisecond. We will go in more details on the creative possibilities, but first let's check on the menu and setting up and firmware upgrade and other such things. To start the firmware upgrade, first you have to download the Moza Master App from Google Play Store. To start the firmware upgradation, first you will have to put this on charge. So after you have attached the Slypod with current, then on the Moza Master App, you will have to select the Slypod and connect it. So it's getting connected. It will show to enter. In this status, if you want to upgrade the firmware, you have to press upgrade and then confirm. The upgradation happens only when the Slypod is in charging mode. So now we can see that the upgradation has happened till 53%. While the firmware upgradation is happening, you can see a green light blinking. You just have to make sure that both of these devices are close to each other, otherwise it might get disconnected. If it does, then you will have to re-update the firmware again. So the upgrade is successful. So now we have switched on the Slypod, and we will also switch on the Moza Master App. And we can see, first of all, you can see the battery level is already shown over here. So over here what we have is a remote control. Then we can check the device information. We have just now upgraded the firmware, so this is already done. We can also change the settings. Then there is a silent mode and there is a creative video mode. So let us first get into the remote control system. So in the remote control system, there are one regular mode, then gear shift, and then acceleration mode. So we will first go in the regular mode. In the regular mode, as I push, so it is going like that. In regular mode we can do two things: either you give the end point, or else you can also do it by pressing this up button or the down button. But you can also change the speed of this. Over here you have a speed control. So now I have reduced the speed to 42. The speed is much slower now. In the regular mode, the speed will be uniform. Okay, we again change the speed to, let's say, 80. So this is with the app. Even directly you can do it with the Slypod itself. Over here, as you can see, there is a silver button. So the silver button has three functions. So if you long press, it switches on. Okay, after you switch that on, you can also see there is a rubber button, which is on one side this is plus, on one side this is minus. So if you press the plus, you can also increase the speed by pressing it more. Number of times you press, the speed will increase. This speed increases till 10 stops. Another function of this silver button is, the second function is, if you press it twice, it will stop at the same position. Let us just experiment with that. It is going upward, 1, 2, and it stopped at the same position. This has a third function also. But before I go into it, let me tell you, if you long press this, this will switch off directly, and this Slypod will retain this particular position. It will not come back. But if you press this thrice, it will fold and then get switched off. So before the backup you can use this, press it thrice. In the acceleration mode, you have to select a amount of speed. So let us see that the maximum amount of speed, the maximum speed over here is 47. It becomes red, and then by and by this speed is taken. It chooses faster speed. So my speed is now 80. So the speed will accelerate to 80. From 0 to 80, the acceleration will happen in the acceleration mode. Now by and by the speed is increasing. While all this is happening, it is making a lot of sound. So you can go and press the silent. Now though it is the sound has reduced, but the speed has also come down. In the gear shift mode, you can also change and vary the speed of operation. So in the settings, there are two options. So one, you can change the indicator, the light indicator, and then you can also do the calibration. To do the calibration of the Slypod, you just need to come in the settings. In settings, over here, you just need to press on calibration and the calibration will happen. There is a white light which is blinking. So the calibration is successful now, and the device has switched off. So you need to restart the device. Okay, now we will enter into the creative video mode. In the creative video mode, you can see there are three options: segmentation, step, and gradient step. Segmentation mode, there is a start point and an end point. You can give different paths. You can set as much as 5 different paths of movement. How? Start and end. So you share the end point and you confirm. As you confirm, it will ask for how many seconds. It was 14 seconds here. We will make it 20 seconds and confirm. After you confirm, you can add path. Then you get the option of putting the second path. So the end point again we stretch till another limit and we put on confirm. Again it asks, it shows 12 seconds, so you cannot go below 12 seconds. So we are setting over here as 19 seconds. Let's say again we are going to add a third path. Now we start. So it is first returning to 0. This feature can be used for time lapse. So it attains different stages of movement and the time lapse video can be made. So that is all regarding the Moza Slypod. To buy the product, you may check the given link. Do check for the next upcoming video, which is on the Moza Air Cross2, and we will be also sharing you tips on how to use the Slypod and the Moza Air Cross2 combined. Thank you.